My husband keeps making me cook breakfast for his coworkers, and I'm tired of it.
Now listen, buddy. It's either I'm making my own breakfast or you hit the road.
We've been married for almost 4 months. My husband works a fairly lucrative office job and is a great help with the finances and bills for our house, while I tackle a BA at college at the moment. For that, I'm very grateful, and I love him very much, and we're generally happy with the marriage. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Brick. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says. However, about 2 months ago, he asked me if I wouldn't mind preparing breakfast for him and a couple of coworkers a few times a week. Of course, I agreed, because I know how rushed things can be in the mornings for some people, and I was glad to see my husband fraternizing with his colleagues. Also, we have a beautiful home, and it's always nice to have people over for meals. I get along with his coworkers very well for the most part, which is a plus. This has been going on for 2 months, and I didn't used to mind it much at first, but I feel that a couple of mornings a week has turned into nearly the entire week, and it's too much for me. Getting up early and preparing eggs, bacon, multiple pots of coffee when there are more than just a couple of coworkers over, and occasionally stuff like pancakes and French toast. That is too much.
Also, are they like giving you money for this? Or
Yeah.
are you just like paying for their free breakfast every single day?
Excellent question. This is too much to ask for you.
Yeah.
I attend night classes several nights a week and don't get a chance to sleep in as much as I would like to. How do I respectfully tell my husband to tone it down a little with these morning visits without hurting his feelings or his coworkers' feelings? I don't want to jeopardize his relationship with the people at work and don't want to push him or our visitors away. It's just become too much for me. And we've got some relevant comments, but what do you think?
I want to know what time they're waking up. Like, what time is OP having to wake up to like prepare this? And how many workers are there? Is it like,
Yeah.
like 3 or like, maybe 5? Or is it like 10 people coming over and being like, where's the buffet?
Where's the food?
Yeah.
It's Hobbit
lot
style
for
or
one-
dwarf style.
Yeah.
Showing up at Bilbo's. Yeah. You've
That's
seen
like-
The Hobbit.
I have seen The Hobbit.
Yeah.
I know that.
Perfect.
I know exactly what you're talking
You're
about.
like,
Yeah.
Relevant comments. Lonnie Lee says, why can't your husband prepare these breakfasts? OP says, admittedly, I am a better cook than him, and I never minded making both of us meals in the mornings. Honestly, if it was just him, I could do it for the rest of my life. But it isn't just him, and I can't do it anymore. And he simply has no time in the morning as he has to get ready and be in the office by 8 a.m.
Oh, wow. So she's like getting up probably like 6.
And she has night classes. Like, let's say she has night classes till 10. Because night classes are usually like 7, 10,
And then
something like
however far you are from school.
yeah, let's say
drive home.
20 minutes.
Another
get
hour to
home.
get ready for bed.
Yeah. And then you have to wake up at 6? Miss Eliza B says, this makes no sense to me. Does your husband own this office? Or is he just being TM nice guy to his coworkers by making his wife be June Cleaver or June Clever? Hand him a box of cereal. This is 2015. He can make his own breakfast. Throwback. This is 2015. What? Crazy. Crazy town. OP says he does not own his own office. They all work in the same office and essentially have the same job. Our home is close to the office, and he likes to boast about my famous breakfast. Yeah, he's just getting clout. He's getting clout out of you making breakfast for everyone.
He's like, you guys should be my friend because, like, my wife cooks.
Yeah.
And she can cook for you.
She's so freaking cool. You guys wish you had wives like mine. Which is not a big deal when it's just him and I, or him and a couple of colleagues, and once in a while. But 3 to 4 times a week is not sustainable for me anymore. Do they compensate for the food? Since my husband pays for 80% of the groceries, it would be unfair of me to charge for food that is essentially not mine. Do they help clean? Nope. I have to do all the dishes after they leave. Pots, pans, bowls, dishes, cups, coffee mugs, and clean out the expensive coffee machine we have every morning. No, we're not letting them make you make food 3 to 4 times a week and clean, and you're not even getting paid. Or like they're not even doing anything nice for you. What is this costing? The breakfast runs us back anywhere from $280 to $350 a week. With my husband's salary, we are more than covered on that front. Money is absolutely no object when it comes to these breakfast parties.
Okay, but the fact that these men are coming in and just expecting
Yeah,
3-4
it's so
times out of the
icky.
week.
I hate that.
Like, and not being like, oh, like, here, like, take some money.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And also, it really isn't that hard to, like, put a dish in the dishwasher, you know? Like, to clear your plate, to help out. But we got an update 4 days later. I want to thank all of you who helped me out and gave me great advice and sympathy in the original thread. I had mentioned several times that I was going to sit down with my husband this Saturday and have a stern talk, but I'm sure a lot of you will be pleased to know it happened much sooner. I decided to stay home from night class on Wednesday night so that I could speak to him as soon as he arrived from work. He was very surprised to see me still in the house, as I have night class every night of the week. I brought up many good points from the thread and told him how it made me feel. I told him the 3 to 4 breakfast parties a week and coworkers' visits through the day were keeping me from focusing on my studies, and that thinking of a menu every morning was stressful and gave me anxiety. Also, the tapping on the window from random visits by his colleagues made me feel unsafe as well. These were all points brought up by Redditors in the thread and a lot of things I had never thought about myself. There were tears and some loud moments, the first time this has happened since we've been together, but when I told him I had made a thread on Reddit, he went absolutely ballistic. He did not get to see the thread. At that point, I went to our bedroom and confined myself to the bed. A couple of hours later, he came in, got in bed, and said that he was very disappointed in me, and that was that. Shut up!
Cool.
Shut up! You're not hurt, father. You're not going to say, oh, I'm disappointed because you won't make me breakfast for all my friends. Yesterday morning, Thursday, everything was the same as usual. He woke up smiling and radiant as always and got ready for work quicker than usual. He came out to the kitchen while I was making the breakfast for the day and told me that he was glad everything had been cleared. I gave him sparse replies and didn't feel like looking at him. He was shocked to see that I had only made a basic breakfast for him. He told me other people were on the way, and I told him I had to catch the bus to the library to do research on a paper for class, another Redditor suggestion. We had a loud argument that stopped when people arrived at our house. I stormed out and went about my business. No words between any of us since then. Today I did the same, except I left the house while he was getting ready. By the way, you should never leave us because we have full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to the story. Tough that there's like no resolution yet.
Yeah, because he refuses to talk.
Yeah.
He's just like, whatever. Well, I'm glad that we, didn't need to talk this out, basically.
Yeah. It's like, no, we did.
No,
you
we
just didn't listen.
Yeah, you just don't care to because you're like worried about like what your friends think.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Not what your wife is going through.
Who's making all of your friends. A little bit left to this story. It's very sad that it all came to this, but I hope things settle down. My plan is to have another talk with him tomorrow morning and tell him that I'm willing to cut the breakfast down to Monday and Wednesdays only, and that all visits from coworkers are to end immediately because I do not feel comfortable with them using our home as a rest stop. You've all been very helpful, thank you. There's nowhere to go but up from here. And Arksy says, yikes! I'm pretty surprised by his reaction to this. Has he always been this controlling? I'm glad you set a boundary and plan on sticking with it. Good luck. I hope he'll come around and see where you're coming from. And OP says, nope, never. As I said before, everything was pretty much perfect until this moment. I do plan on sticking with it. Another point I brought up was that I might be changing my class schedule in the winter and that he should expect some changes around the house. This, too, made him angry. It's more painful than infuriating, but whatever, I'm just glad I did it. Why tell him about the Reddit post? Well, I wanted him to know that I wasn't being crazy and a lot of people agreed with me. I didn't show him the thread at that point because I knew he was upset. And we have an editor's note that confirmed OP and her husband are of Asian descent. Final comments. When asked if there was anything new, a lot of cold shouldering and silence this weekend with occasional casual talks from him unrelated to the breakfast. I wouldn't know what to update you with today as I'm at a library studying and he had to fend for himself this morning. Bama Montana says, before you did this, did you know of any other wife that performed this service for the office? OP says, not that I'm aware of, but that doesn't change anything. Everything's over.
Wow.
If he doesn't listen to you and change his attitude, I am worried that you are headed towards a divorce.
Yeah. A restaurant canceled our wedding reservation on our wedding day.
They're not supposed to do that.
So I had a micro wedding at a courthouse, and we're meeting some more people for a reception afterwards, about 12 people. We booked a reservation at a restaurant, bar, lounge, just across the street. By the way, this comes from GovGoose. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I am Riley.
And we're here to give some good advice in a goofy little manner. But we don't have all of your answers. We don't let you know what we would do in this situation. So let us know what you would do down in the comments. We first went into the restaurant to make sure they could accommodate. We tried to make a reservation, but they told us they had to do it through their website. Okay, fine. So I made the reservation. 2 days before the wedding, we got a confirmation email. We confirmed the reservation. When we go to the restaurant after the wedding, they inform us that they canceled all reservations from the 23rd through the 1st. No email, no call, nothing. We didn't have anywhere else to go, so we waited. An hour later, I went to talk to a manager. The bartender informed me the manager wasn't there and wouldn't be for several days, so I had to come back to talk to her. 2.5 hours later, we're finally sat. And of course, they're out of steak, what myself and my husband both wanted, and the best they could do was a 25% discount. I don't want to say it ruined my day because it was truly such an amazing day. However, I have a 1-year-old, and by the time we finished dinner, it was almost 2 hours past his bedtime. We couldn't get a hotel room, we couldn't go to the lounge, and we couldn't even speak to someone about why we weren't at least informed. No one at the restaurant really knew why because it was a corporate management decision. Honestly, to me, it feels like the restaurant screwed up our day. Waiting for 2 hours after making a reservation and confirming 2 days prior just feels so crappy. I'm still pretty upset about this. Would you go back to speak to a manager, or is it an overreaction? There's an edit here.
Yeah. So I was playing in a basketball game recently, and the people there were like saying like, "F y'all, I'm getting tired of dunking." They were like, they beat us by like 30, and they kept like egging us on. And I was going to go to the people and be like, "Hey, the refs didn't say anything. These people were being rude. They just were like trying to get under our skin." Didn't do it. That wasn't really the right thing to do. In this scenario, it feels like the right thing to do because they completely screwed out your day. It'd probably give you some more peace. What will give you more peace, you know?
Well, the other thing is, I feel like they probably weren't the only ones that happened to. But I don't know.
Good morning, Petty Potatoes. A 25% discount after making them wait 2.5 hours after already canceling their reservations. Karen unlocked.
Yeah, Kim Roberts says, no, even if the head manager isn't there, there is still someone in charge. I agree. If the manager isn't there, someone is like operating this. Not everyone is just like sitting around like just la la. I mean, well, actually, maybe they were because nothing was going right. No idea.
That's what I do.
But
I just sit around and really don't do much.
I know.
La,
La la la. I have a meeting, guys. I gotta go.
Oh
my gosh, I have a meeting. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I gotta go. I have a meeting.
Then I go and hide and curl up in a ball in a corner.
Edit. The restaurant also had a hotel above it. That's why I included it in the details. There's some relevant comments now. OP says, they told us they were out of steak after being seated for about 20 minutes. We didn't have anywhere else to go. 12 people is going to have a long wait anywhere. There wasn't much we could do but wait. Unless we wanted to get fast food or pizza, this was our option for the night. They repeatedly told us just a few more minutes throughout the night.
Oh my gosh. Horrible. I will say this. If you called around and said, "Hey, I had a reservation at this restaurant. They canceled it. Do you guys have room for 12? What does that look like?" I'm pretty sure a restaurant would make something happen.
Oh, yeah. They'd be like, oh, yeah.
Right?
We got you. Don't
Be
worry.
the heroes.
Yeah. Then I'd be like, this place rocks. 5-star review.
Boom.
That's how you do business, baby. Was the restaurant a franchise place? OP says it's not. It's a local place that was bought out by a larger company last year, I think. It's been there for over 50 years. Wow. And so they got bought out, and now they've gone downhill. That happened to the hot dog shop in my place, in my town. Jib Jab.
What do they serve there?
Hot dogs.
Wow, what kind?
I hate him. Why does he do that?
What kind of hot dogs? Just like
I could go on and on. You want me to? Because I will.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm asking. Beef dogs, veggie dogs, pork dogs.
I don't think they have.
So you
veggie
can't
dogs.
go on and on.
Well, I haven't been there because it doesn't taste good anymore because they changed owners and they like changed a lot of. Oh no, so
that's hard to screw up a hot dog. I'm gonna say.
So many people boycotted it and whatever, blah blah, because they do like chili cheese. That's like their thing. A downvoted commenter said, at a certain point, you had to understand the restaurant was passive aggressively telling you they didn't want to serve you. They did everything but verbally tell you to go away. That is upsetting, but you made a decision to wait 2.5 hours. Even if you talk to the manager, they won't care. They didn't want you there. So they just don't want...
So
I think
they're
restaurants...
just a bad date.
Restaurants want customers, so I don't think that's correct.
You would think so, right?
They just didn't want you there.
Dude.
No reason this was downvoted.
I mean, this seems like a nice restaurant. You got 12 people, probably like $30 to $40 a plate. That's like $500 right there.
Yeah,
They're
they got
saying
like
no.
good steak. Yeah. OP responds, they shouldn't have sent out a confirmation then. That is also very true. Or accepted the reservation. We waited because the initial wait was 30 minutes. Where else would we go with 12 people that wouldn't have a substantial wait? This is literally not my fault. They should have at least sent an email stating they were canceling. It's weird because you're trying to blame me, to be honest. Was the restaurant aware that this was a wedding dinner reservation? OP responds, yes, we included it in the notes, and when I talked to them in person, I told someone. OP on the timeline on when the reservation and confirmation were made with the restaurant. OP responds, the reservation was made about 2 weeks beforehand. The confirmation was 2 days. Just to clarify. Okay, so she made this like 2 weeks in advance and then 2 days before got the confirmation be like, oh, we're excited to see you,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah. I would think that they'd be like, oh, okay, cool date.
Yep.
They confirmed.
Awesome. How would you feel? I feel pretty sad.
Karen.
I feel pretty sad because, like, you know, they're feeding me and then I'm also going to be staying at their place. And it's a very special day to me. I remember my special day with my wife. We went to the lake that day, the current, and almost got her. Thank you, Awesome. Yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah, I agree with them. Well, there is an update.
Sweet! Yes!
8 days later.
Yo! It's a week and a day.
I went into the lounge last weekend and talked to the bartender, explained what happened, and she said, what the F? That's effed up. She went to go get the bar manager who was there our wedding night. He apologized and gave us our drinks free. I asked if the restaurant manager was there, and he said she was and went to go get her. She said basically the same thing. Corporate started a new system without notifying them. They didn't know how to use it, and they canceled reservations for the 23rd through the 1st.
That's such a long time.
And also, you probably have the emails of all the people who booked or numbers. So you can call those people and let them know, be like, hey, we are now canceling, blah, 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 blah.
Agreed. Terrible excuse. Horrible.
I asked if I could talk to her manager, aka the manager for the whole building. She gave me her card.
Uh-oh. He's OP right now.
Anyways, you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this by going to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search up OK Storytime. And they're all there. No matter what you like, I'm sure you can find at least one. Anyways, back to the friggin' story. I emailed that manager and set up a phone call. She apologized sincerely and said that the staff was supposed to honor all previous reservations and said that the staff wasn't being honest. She said the manager on staff that night likely didn't even look at the reservations and had no idea we were coming. She gave us a $100 gift card to the restaurant and a free night at the hotel to use whenever we want. I genuinely don't know who's telling the truth, and honestly, I don't care. They were nothing but nice about the situation, as was I. It seemed to have been a series of unfortunate mix-ups and miscommunications that led to not getting our reservation that night. I'm happy with the gift card and the free night at the hotel.
Oh. You could
Honestly,
have.
I would be happy with that too.
$100, you're settling.
Yeah, well, I don't want to cause a scene.
You could have negotiated for more.
I can't. I'm not that person.
I called out sick with a fever, but my boss still demanded I come in.
I don't care about diseases. Everyone gets them, right?
I, 27 female, am a very easygoing person. I like to think I go out of my way to help others, and I'm a people pleaser, so it's hard for me to say no sometimes. By the way, this comes from Brandidler, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP said, I was scheduled for a serving shift. I only have this job, so I'm not at home all the time. This isn't a job for a means of survival, and I know I am very fortunate just for that fact. I do drink streams every Friday. This past Friday, I did my stream. I didn't get too intoxicated, but I was a bit swimmy. What are you talking about?
What is drink
Wait.
streams?
What do you mean you drank streams?
Drinks. Oh, maybe like a drinking stream?
What
like
does
she
that
was
mean?
like drinking on stream, and it'd be
She's
like,
she's
"Oh,
a streamer?
I don't know. I would do that.
My coworkers know of my streams too. Well, Saturday rolls around and I wake up with a fever and constantly puking my guts out. I was like this for the next 2 days. I was a shift manager and I had already, since I woke up sick, been looking for coverage. I reached out to everyone who was not working and no one would take my shift. For context, I always pick up shifts when I needed. Literally the week before, I was scheduled for 10 hours but ended up working more than 40 from picking up shifts of others calling out. I'm terrible at saying no. Even on the days I had off and set aside for myself to get my weekly things done, I still came in. Let's rewind back to me looking for coverage. So I finally reached out to my boss about 2 hours before the shift and let them know, like, hey, I'm sick. I've reached out to everyone, but no one's picking up, but I can't make it in today. I'm sick with the fever, and I've been purging everything going into my body. Cool. I got left on red for about an hour just for them to say, hey, let the manager on shift know. So I did. Then all heck breaks loose. I get a text from the boss's girlfriend, who also works there but is like me, a shift manager, not my boss, my equal. She tells me I need to get a doctor's note or I'm getting written up when I come in. I am sending a picture of my throw up.
I'd be like, how does this look?
Yeah.
I threw up on the doctor's notes.
Yeah.
It's in the toilet.
I ate it
flew
and
up.
I threw it up.
Mommy flew up.
I live in America, y'all. I don't have insurance, so I'm not going to go to the doctor to pay out of pocket for a note to tell you what I'm telling you now. I think that's just plain silly. And that's what I told her. She messages me back saying, well, you were fine in your stream last night. And this snapped something in me because maybe it was the sickness, the sleep deprivation, or the constant questioning whenever I needed a day off or to call out. But I said, yeah, I was fine on my stream last night. It does not matter what I did the day before. People get sick. I'm sick. Not arguing like this with y'all today, and I left it at that. Then I get a text from my boss, that girl's boyfriend, saying I needed to come in. I'm not coming in.
I don't understand that. If I call out sick, like if anyone calls out sick and I am like a manager or boss or whatever, I'm not going to tell you to come in. I don't want to get people sick.
I don't want to
Whether or
get
not you're
sick. I don't want to get sick. Stay home.
Yeah, it's like
Stay
I
as
don't know.
far away from me as possible if you're sick. This is a restaurant, and one of the #1 rules is to not come in when you have a fever. I am a stickler for these rules. It's just who I am. So I told him I have a fever. By law, I cannot come in as I may contaminate the place. So he then goes on to tell me if I don't come in, I'll be written up. The best threat they have. Write me up. Do it. I dare you.
Write me up for being sick and throwing up.
Now let me insert a little side note here. I am the only one who gets questioned like this, and I have come in multiple times when I tried to call out because I was sick, because I couldn't find coverage. I have been written up because I was late to a shift I got called in for last minute. So I already have 1 write-up. You know the rule, 3 and you're out. Anyone else who calls out, the answer is always, all right, feel better. We'll figure something out for you. But the moment it's me, I get questioned and berated to the point of me normally just giving in and going in.
I have a question. Does OP do this
A
often?
lot.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that's the thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, and it kind of sounds like it, because why else would they be?
Berating you, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This time I wasn't having it. My boss is still telling me I need a doctor's note or I'm getting written up. Then he proceeds to tell me, hey, you can buy a fake doctor's note for $50. That's what I did last week. That's when I snapped. I told him to kindly F off. I like y'all as people, but as a workplace, this is ridiculous. You're either trying to get me to come in sick as heck or break the law by buying a fake doctor's note, which I know we don't need as it's not a requirement per the restaurant rules. Like I said, I'm a stickler for rules, so I know this stuff. I told them to consider this my 2 weeks notice. Not 100% quitting. I was doing my due diligence by even giving them that. All I got back was heard, and then I was removed from the work group chat.
I actually.
They removed you from the work group chat after that?
Immediately.
Immediately, I
Wow.
removed you. Come on.
Whatever.
Ow.
That's stupid.
So they were looking for just a reason to fire you.
Yeah.
Feels like it.
Honestly, I actually cannot stand when people say heard.
Heard.
Is it better than K?
And you know why?
I feel like heard's better than K though.
Because they didn't hear you.
No, because one guy in Groundlings.
Oh.
We both had him not in different classes, but we both had him. And all he said, you always go,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh,
That's what I
heard.
thought you were going to say.
heard, heard. And I'm, oh my God,
I don't
like,
hear you.
Like, please shut up. Please, I can't. There's some people I can't. He's one of.
I didn't have as
He's
bad
one
of
of
a time with this guy
I
as
did.
you and Vincent did.
My God. I had to
Oh.
do my final with him.
Yeah, that's tough.
Ugh.
I then get texts from the same people plus a couple more telling me I shouldn't have done that. It was uncalled for and that I should apologize.
Apologize for
I'm sorry,
what?
apologize for quitting? That's actually I'm sorry I
Yeah.
quit. No, that's insane. I'm not apologizing for crap. F off with that. I also always get in my head and overthink things, so am I the a-hole for putting in my 2 weeks because I tried to call out sick and got denied and told to come in with my fever or go get a doctor's note. By the way, you should go get full episodes of stories just like this because you can get them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Just search for OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story, but what do you think?
I mean, honestly, this place sounds like a nightmare to work at anyway, so I feel like you're doing yourself a favor.
Who's telling you that you need to apologize?
And once you work at a restaurant, you can basically work at any restaurant, you know.
Actually-
now you have the experience.
Wild to me that anyone was like, you should apologize for quitting.
Yeah, who is telling you to do that?
Unless you want your job back. You?
Yeah.
Side notes, I like these guys as people. Remove the workplace. They're generally nice people. We've hung out a few times outside of work. They know this job is not something I need, but something I got to make friends. And also just get out of the house. So I ask, am I the whole of butts? You won't hurt my feelings. Trauma, remove those for me. I'm just genuinely curious what y'all think or if I should have handled it differently. No.
No, it's like, what? These people are disrespectful.
Yeah.
And you're sick and have a fever.
You're sick.
Like, sorry if they don't believe you or not. Like, I am. I don't know what, like,
What do you want me to do?
yeah.
You got a fever? Is it more cowbell?
And I got a prescription.
But that's the end of that story.